Hey, so this quick video here is just to help you get ready for your final test. It will be next week, which, well, depending on when you're looking at this, it'll be Wednesday or Thursday, which is January 13th or 14th, depending on which section you're in. So in terms of the test and how it's going to operate, it's pretty straightforward. I'm giving you this prep sheet here. We'll open that up, take a look. And this sheet will kind of outline the questions for the test. These are literally the 4 possible questions for the test. I might give you all 4, I might give you 3, depends on the situation. Okay, so here's what we got. These are the actual questions you will find on the final. Use information from our various units to show that you have an understanding of each of these standards. Units we covered include the following. Okay, and this last one, if we haven't gotten to it yet, we will pretty soon. Okay, so this is the biggest test of the year in terms of points, so make sure to take some time to prepare. So question number 1, here's the standard, and here's the meaning of the standard. How have the events, people, and ideas of the past had an impact on us today? And so what you're going to do is review your information from this class and think about, okay, how have they impacted us? Maybe, for example, when you thought about the Renaissance, you thought about, let's see here. Oh, their artwork was really important, and we still find artwork important. Well, then you can look at your Renaissance notes and look at some of the ideas back then that are still important to us today. So you would fill in unit Renaissance, and then you could just talk about your example that you'd want to write about there. Okay. For each question, whoops, you're going to want to have 3 different examples that you can work with. Okay. And from 3 different periods would be the best. So maybe there's something you remember from the Greeks. So you put it here and give me the example, whatever it might be. Okay. Question number 2. So the second one, how have we seen elements of democracy used in the units and people we discussed in class? So where did we see examples of democracy in these different governments? Again, look through your notes, look through your assignments, whatever you might have. Put the name of the unit and then put examples. All right. Third, what are some examples of ways people have gained or lost rights in the units that we discussed? So I just run through these and say, okay, you know, we have the ancient Greeks first and then the Romans. Do the Romans seem to have more rights than the Greeks or not? And then you go on to the Middle Ages. In the Middle Ages, do they seem to have more rights than they did in Rome? Are they increasing their rights and abilities to do things in the Renaissance or Reformation? Does the Enlightenment help them to have more rights? What do you see? And so you'd talk about those for that question. And 4, how have decisions made by the government impacted the ability of individuals and businesses to get the resources they needed to survive? Okay, so classic example of this you could talk about, you could put in the Middle Ages. And then you could talk about feudalism, right? Because feudalism is a government system, and talk about how the setup of that system either help people gain resources or hurt them, whatever it might be. Okay, that'd be a classic example you could have there. So basically you're looking at these questions and then looking through all your notes and your assignments and things like that in Google Classroom or any paper notes you may have, and coming up with examples that answer those questions from those units. So feel free as always to ask me questions if you have them. That's what I'm here for. So that's what you can expect from your final. I'm not going to throw anything at you outside of what you see on this sheet. So